Hello, everybody, and welcome to What Do You Say Anime's Duel of the Decade. My name is Peter. Joining me on today's episode, we have co-hosts from Anime Watch Club. We have Miles, we have Pat, and we have Haz, and then my co-host, as always, is Adam. On today's docket, we are dueling 2015 versus 2019 and 2010 versus 2016. And how this is going to work is we're picking the top five shows rated and by rating and popularity and dueling them against each other. Whoever wins between the votes between of us gets 1 point. Whoever has the most points out of each year advances. If there's a tie, we go to total points scored, and if that's a tie, we are all picking a favorite show from that year, and that's the tiebreaker. So whichever show of our favorite shows from one of the 2 years is that. I hope we don't get to that, but that's the third tiebreaker. On our first episode, if you haven't seen it already, we had 2012 versus 2014, in which 2014 advanced, and 2014 will going against the number 2 seed, I believe, or 1 seed, 2018, and 2011 beat 2017, and they'll be going up against our number 2 seed, which is 2013. But today we will be having 2015 and 2019 versus 2016 and 2010. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So let me just pull up. If you're watching on YouTube, we have visuals. So if you're watching on any other streaming platform, I recommend you checking us out on YouTube. What do you say, anime? So starting off first with 2015, we're going to do the number 5 ranked show from 2015 versus the number 5 ranked show from 2019. And we have Love is War versus Kuroko no Basket Season 2. And I think I started off first last time, so I'll just continue doing it. Both are great shows. I'm a pretty anti-shonen guy, but I love super shonen when it comes to sports. And I think Kuroko no Basket does one of the best. But Love is War is one of my favorite shows of all time. Love is War, Season 1 did a great job of setting everything up, and there's some pretty memorable moments. For me, this is actually kind of tough, but my vote's going to go to Love is War Season 1. Adam, do you want to go next?
Well, last time I was pretty adamant about first seasons just having a advantage against season twos, but I think I'm gonna try to avoid that mindset going in here. But I still have to give it to Love Is War. As good as Kuroko no Basket is, it was a show I really liked, but Love Is War I feel like is a lot more influential of a show and a lot better of a show than the second half of Kuroko no Basket.
All right. And then we have Pat or Has go next. I don't remember, to be honest. I know Miles rounded it out.
I think I went actually after you did.
Pat, go ahead.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't
Okay.
care. Either way, I mean, who cares, right? It's we're just talking. But I do have to say I think Love Is War is the clear winner here. That's how I was gonna say I disagree with you because I think there is a clear winner. I think Love Is War is so much more interesting than Kuroko no Basket it was. I find the characters more likable. I think the the impact too, if we're going by impact, Love is War's second OP or ED rather, whatever you want to call it, the Chica dance,
The Chica dance, yeah.
that took over. That was like arguably as big as the Haruhi Suzumiya, like, that dance that everyone was doing for years before this came along. So I think just off that alone, other than the fact that Love is War is such a fantastic show, I think Love is War wins this by
Yeah,
far.
the Chica Dance won not only my personal favorite, but the community's vote for our 2019 Anime of the Year Awards for Best ED. So it was a pretty big deal in
Or
2019.
28. Oh yeah, 2019.
2019, yep.
What am I saying?
Has, you're up next.
Love is War. It's really cool. It got my friend. It's the only romance that my friend who fucking hates romance and like slice of life and all that other shit enjoyed, and it was really funny. I used the Chica dance to promote a song that I made before. I love that shit. Uh, I also have a lot of investment in Kuroko no Basket. I fucking love this series. I haven't seen Shohoku or any of the other basketball series, so this is like the one for me just by default. So this is really hard. But I'm gonna have to give it to Love Is War, just because the impact it made on the community, and seeing my friend who didn't like romance suddenly say like this is fire. I was like, yeah, it is pretty fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And Miles, round it out for us.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of y'all know this, but I'm a huge basketball fan. So I have to say this matchup is kind of a layup
Nice.
Gonna give it to Love is War, dunking all over Kuroko no Basket. You know, I just Love is War is just fantastic. Every character I think is just like really memorable. I think it's really well constructed. And you know, I don't know. I have real life basketball for when I want to watch basketball,
Sure,
but that,
exactly.
I know I don't have real life mental matches between two tsunderes. So
Those those analogies were a slam dunk, Miles. I
Ooh.
appreciated them.
Please,
Yeah,
please
I know.
stop. Please.
You're forcing the puns at this point.
Double dribble. That's a double dribble.
No.
Turnover.
No, that's a
Turnover.
technical
Going the other
foul.
way. Yeah. Tee him up. Tee him up. Yeah.
All right, so a convincing 5-0 victory, Love is War Season 1 beats Kuroko no Basket Season 2. Up next for the number 4 ranked shows from 2019 and 2015, we have Owari Monogatari, I think that's how you pronounce it, versus Chi Hayafuru Season 3. For me, this is a show that I have seen none of Chi Hayafuru, but I have seen some of the Monogatari series, so it's really hard to like which one I need to vote for. I really like Madhouse, and Madhouse does Chi Hayafuru, but I just have experience with the Monogatari series, and this is, I think, the highest rated Monogatari season out of any of them. If it's either one or number, it's either number 1 or number 2. It's really close, but
It is. Yeah.
just for my relevancy and the fact that I've seen some form of the Monogatari series, I'm gonna give my vote to Owari Monogatari.
Yeah, for me, I'm in the same boat. I haven't seen Chihaya Furu or Iwari Monogatari, but I know one of them is a very, very, very popular series, and the other one is just simply a fairly popular series. Even
like a
though I
cult
own one of them
classic,
on my
yeah.
shelf right now, I haven't seen it. So I got to go with Owari Monogatari for my vote.
All right, Pat.
So for me, I think obviously it's the Bakemonogatari series or Monogatari series is so influential, and like you said, this is the top rated one out of that series. However, I think Chiafuru is so cool, and I heard good things about season 3 as well, because it's a show about poems and cards, like competitive card poem making or whatever. And while I have not seen it, I can only imagine it's a great time. And considering it's gotten 3 seasons as well, I have to give them some credit. I haven't seen either, so take my vote with a grain of salt. But I think I'm gonna go with Chihaya Furu, because it seems like more my kind of show, anyways. Because for whatever reason, just
Sure.
can't enjoy the
It's a
Monogatari series.
It's a josei, so yeah, I probably lean that way too. In terms of, if I actually saw Chi Hayafuru, I think I would like
Yeah.
it more.
I'm sure I'd love it. Yeah, Josei too. It is one of the most popular Josei that.
And I don't know how many
there.
sports joseis there are. So
There's not many.
it's like Chi Hayafuru, and like unless there's a field hockey anime, I don't know.
There's not. I wish there was.
Yeah,
that'd be so sick.
Haz, you're up next.
Same as UP and Adam, I don't have experience with Chihaya Furu. Watch Bakemonogatari with the Watch Club, and if you remember, I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of that. And because of that, and my love for Doki Doki Literature Club, and just the respect of season 3, Big Dick style, I'm gonna give it to Chihaya Furu.
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Alrighty.
Miles, you're the deciding vote.
Oh boy. I'm gonna give it to Owari Monogatari, and just because I like the series so much. Just the visuals, the art, and everything. I will say, grain of salt again. I haven't seen any of Chihai Furu, so I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it and then I'll be on a later episode and I'll talk about how much of a huge mistake I made. But
Maybe that's what we need to do. We need to check that out, because just not fair.
but yeah, for me, it's going to be Owari Monogatari.
All right, so in a 3-2 victory for 2015, Owari Monogatari wins 3-2.
Shame.
Next up, number 3 ranked for 2015, we have JoJo Part 3 Stardust Crusaders going against 2019's Vinland Saga. Haven't seen JoJo, but it's gonna be really hard for me to, even if I have seen JoJo, that Vinland Saga is in my top 15 of all time. It was my runner-up for Anime of the Year last year. I think Vinland Saga is an incredible show. Jesus Christ, I hope we get a second season because that show was it was such a groundbreaker for the seinen genre. Just because we have like these big manga sign-ins that are now kind of getting the adaptations because Kingdom is in its third season. That's kind of like in the big five or whatever they have for sign-ins. Though I haven't seen Kingdom, Vinland Saga, Berserk. We don't really talk about Berserk, and then we're still hoping to get like Vagabond down the road, but we'll see. But I absolutely love Vinland Saga. I think it's a masterpiece. Wit Studios killed it, so my vote's going to Vinland Saga.
I'm gonna speak for all the memers out there, and I think JoJo's the most memed show on one of the most memed anime out there at the moment. So for me, it's got to be JoJo.
Okay, Pat.
Oh man, I just had to fire up JoJo's Part Three's opening there just to make sure it was the right one that I was thinking of. Such a catchy song, and it's JoJo's is all the memes. However, Vinland Saga, like you were talking about, is one of those sign-in series that we as an anime community have been waiting for forever. Like it's one of the highest rated manga, I believe, not even just sign-in manga, but manga in general that hasn't or up till that point hadn't
Yep.
gotten an adaptation yet in terms of like rating and then popularity as well. And I have yet to see it. I plan on seeing it though because it's so I've heard so many good things. Like and it also reached a mainstream appeal as well because I know some of my my college soccer teammates who they watch Black Clover, they watch My Hero, they watch a few shows, but they don't they're not otaku, they're not into the culture, right? They were talking about Vinland Saga. So I think it reached mainstream appeal, partly maybe because it was on Amazon Prime. That might have helped it a little bit. But even then, like it was such a big show at the end of the year. I think this one goes to Vinland Saga because JoJo's Part Three is not the best of the JoJo's parts either, as far as I have heard. I haven't seen them. They're not. It's not my kind of show.
I'm not sure where it's ranked. I think it's one of the higher ones. I think Golden Wind is one, and I think Stardust Crusaders is number 2, but I could be
It was
mistaken.
number 2, but
Okay.
The
Like I
the
said,
OP is great though. The OP for both are
they're
great
all
for
great. Yeah,
bangers.
and
Yeah.
the EDs. Oh, they're also good. JoJo has
Yeah.
great music. Let's go to you.
So I'm gonna sound kind of elitist right now. So I hope everyone understands. Like I'm not trying to, but my explanation is gonna come off that way. So Vinland Saga is great. I love signing. Berserk is like one of my favorite. It's my second favorite manga of all time, and it's what I would consider the best manga ever made. Uh, and I feel like Vinland Saga is great. I also feel like the impact of Vinland Saga for me being so invested in Berserk was a little lessened. The
Okay.
same way, uh, you know, how Pete you were feeling with like the Black Swordsman and the Golden Age arc. Like that's kind of how I felt with Vinland Saga. And I'm also of the opinion that signing anime, um, generally speaking, just doesn't work. It doesn't have the same appeal to me as it does in manga. I feel like the art of manga and the attention to detail that you can have when you're not animating something makes each scene a lot more impactful. And while Vinland Saga does have very detailed animation and it's very beautiful, it just reading it and watching it has a very different impact on me. And the appeal of Vinland Saga and sort of the grittiness of it, some of it's lost in the anime. JoJo Part 3, while I don't believe is the best part, I think JoJo's Part 5 is, and then Stone Ocean from the bit I've read, it's amazing. I do love JoJo's, and I think it's very fun, and it's one of those anime that really shows how much you can suspend your disbelief. I think that's the saying, with like all these crazy things and you not really questioning it, but just going along, and it's so amazing. So JoJo Part 3 for me.
All right. And Miles, you're the deciding vote again.
Great. Here's something you guys might not know about me. I do not like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I think it's bad. I think it's memed because of how bad it is and ridiculous, and none of it's good. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Vinland Saga. So, I don't know. I haven't gone through all of JoJo's. died somewhere in the middle of season 2. I don't know, maybe somewhere after that it gets better. But okay, so I guess it doesn't. So good.
It
glad
stays
to
the
know.
same. In my opinion, it stays the same. It's just the same
Okay.
show.
Yeah.
I'm offending people by saying that. But
Yeah,
I
you
don't care.
probably are. So
I
JoJo
don't
fans,
care.
don't come at us. Come at Pat.
Yeah, you can come at me all you want because they're all little soy boys anyways. I'm not
All
scared.
right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Shots
Throwing
fired.
shade.
in a 3-2 victory, Vinland Saga takes a point for 2019 over JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
Up next, the number 2 rank. This is going to be the hardest one for me. I can already tell.
I knew this one was gonna be fun.
This is Haiku Season 2 versus Mob Psycho 100 Season 2. For me, Haiku is my number 5 all time, and Mob Psycho is my number 7 all time. So, 2 clashes of my favorite shows of all time. But if this was like season 3 of Haiku,
Nope.
I think it'd be a lot easier. But Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 was my anime of the year last year. I think it was a masterpiece of direction, of animation. The fights were incredible. The character development was incredible. It's like one of the best character developments in Reagan in anime history. I fucking love both these shows. It's so hard. It hurts me to say the winner, but I'm going with Mob Psycho 100 Season 2.
All right. Well, first off, Pete's wrong. Haikyuu season 2 is better than season 3, without a doubt. So that's why season 2 of Haikyuu is gonna get over Mob Psycho 100 for me.
Okay. Patrick.
Mob Psycho season 2 was one of my friend's favorite shows he's ever seen, and he's a big shonen guy. So I don't like sports anime. I think I don't know, maybe it's just because I played sports in real life, and like Miles said about basketball, it's like if I wanted to see sports, I'd go and play them, or I'd go and watch soccer, or I'd watch whatever, instead of watching anime. So maybe that's why, but I'm almost always going to vote for the non-sports anime in a battle with a sports anime. So
Okay.
I gotta go with Mob Psycho 2 though, because it's Mob Psycho. That show is breaking barriers, I feel like, within the
I
community.
agree.
So many people are season 1 was so fantastic, and then season 2 took everything great from season 1 and just amplified it. I think that's a hard show to take down.
Absolutely. All right, Has.
My distaste for One Punch Man is not a secret, and from what I've heard of Mob Psycho, the way it's been presented to me at least is One Punch Man. If Saitama and Genos switch position, except Genos was a lot. We all scaled it down a bit, and in terms of senior or like mentor and student. So yeah, I don't have good opinions of it, but due to Pete's recommendation and my age changing from the first time I made that opinion, I'm willing to give it a chance. But Haikyuu just has not missed for me, so I'm gonna give it to Haikyuu.
Okay, and whoever told you that comparison that's so wrong. But it is the same author from One Punch Man, so there are comparisons, which makes sense. But
Yeah.
dude, they do not switch. It's not whoever told you that.
Well, he was saying like they switch roles as mentor and student, and like it would be if Saitama's the student and you kind of scaled it down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. Miles, the deciding vote 3 straight times
Okay,
in a row.
fantastic. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a pretty big volleyball fan. So I have been, since 9th grade when I would go and watch my 9th grade girlfriend's volleyball games. Shout out to Kendall Bacoris if
Yo,
there's
sick
any
brag,
chance
bro.
in hell you're watching this.
Sick brag.
I'm gonna go ahead and doubt that one.
You can call him.
But anyways, so this is a pretty easy dig, set, and spike for Mob Psycho 100 season 2. I don't know. I'm pretty. Haiku is okay. It's fine. But Mob Psycho is very good. So
All
We're
right.
learning a lot about you today,
Yeah.
Miles. It seems like everything so far has been. I don't know if you know this about me, but I used to do this.
It's-
So
we'll see how long we can keep it up.
yeah, I was gonna say, so maybe we can keep that going with the next one. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I was a Titan at one point growing up. That was a moment in my history. Yeah, so
All
All right,
right.
sorry.
So in a 3-2 victory, we have Mob Psycho Season 2 over Haiku Season 2 for a point for 2019. And last but not least, the number one ranked show from 2015, Gintama Season 4, going up against 2019's number one ranked anime, Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. And I hate Attack on Titan. Everybody knows that I hate it. Oh, if you don't know this about me, I hate Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take away the greatness that everybody in the world has told me that Season 3 Part 2 is. And Gintama seems like the type of show that's for me because I love gay comedy. But just because of like how highly rated and how influential this, especially this part, the Part 2 of Season 3 was, I think it's hard for me not to say that. So I'm going Attack on Titan.
I'll say it. Gintama. Not even close for me. I'm like Pete. I'm not a fan of Attack on Titan, and if there's one show that I can spit on, it'll be that one. So I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to vote for the other show that I don't like.
All right. Pat.
It seems like this is the Attack on Titan hate podcast,
Oh,
but
for sure it is.
I'm not a big fan of it either, but I am excited to have a movie to watch so that way I can catch up and watch the next season, which if that doesn't tell you how incredible apparently and how much people have told me how incredible season 3 part 2 is, like that should tell you enough that if someone who really hates the series is tempted enough to watch a new movie so that they can catch up and then start watching the show again, like I feel like this one goes to Attack on Titan clearly to me because of how much attention and how much chatter there was around this season versus Gintama season 4. I can't remember. Like people still don't talk much about Gintama. I guess it finished, right? Is that?
I'd say it's kind of like, even though it is very, very popular. Like, let's not get that wrong.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, let's just say the active platforms, let's say Twitter and Reddit,
Yeah.
it's really
not
not
talked
as like popular as
It
the
is
other
not.
shows. And especially, I mean, when Attack on Titan launched, it destroyed the internet. Like, it destroyed
Yeah.
Twitter. Like, everybody
Yeah.
and their mother was talking about Attack on Titan. Like, it was like, I think at one point it was like the number 1 and number 2 trending thing on, I think it was like episode 3 or 4 is the second highest rated episode on IMDb. Like,
What?
it's that big of a deal. Like,
Is that the episode where?
I don't know what
what-
happened.
Okay, I was gonna say that's probably the episode that made me hate the series. It's right around that early part where spoiler whatever happens
it's
to
on-
Aaron.
No, it's season 3 part 2. So did you
Oh,
make it
season
that far?
No,
No,
I thought
yeah.
you meant season
No.
1. You were talking
Not
Yeah,
about.
it was an
that far.
episode from season 3 part 2 that is the number 2 ranked
Okay.
episode of all of TV on IMDb. Like, just
All
put
right,
that into
well.
perspective. Like, that's insane. That's not just anime; it's all TV shows. So,
All TV. Yeah.
so just to
Well,
confirm,
I
Pat.
still hate it.
No, that's, yeah. I mean, I do too, but Pat, you said Attack on Titan, correct?
Yes, I did. I think it's much more influential and important.
Okay, has.
Far be it for me to steal someone else's thunder, but little known fact about me, I'm an alcoholic. And even off of about 3 bottles of vodka and 2 Hennessy, stacked next to each other, I just couldn't find it in me to say that Attack on Titan is as good as people say it is. I'm not going to take away the influence that it had at all. As far as season 3 part 2 being talked about, Attack on Titan has trended. I am not sure why, because unlike everyone here, I do not, at the time of Attack, up until this year, I didn't really care about things that I didn't like. Whereas now I'm trying to watch everything and keep up to date. So I wasn't there for that, but I'm going to take the words of these intelligent young men going through their midlife crisis. Gintama season 4 is a slapper. I think Gintama is fucking hilarious, and it does referential comedy very well. Which honestly, I don't enjoy referential comedy, especially in heavy doses, but Gintama does it well. So season 4.
All right, Miles, for the 4th straight time, you're the deciding vote.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm a pretty big fan of the Titans. I was really excited to see a resurgent year from Ryan Tannehill last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it got the run game going, and what a run to the AFC.
What a run Derrick Henry is. Yeah.
Truly unbelievable. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. Attack on Titan season 3 is a little bit more of a Vince Young than a Steve McNair, if you get what I'm saying.
Ooh.
So I'm going to have to give it to Gintama.
Wow. This is probably the big. I mean, in terms of overall, this is probably a giant upset.
It is because I did that out of spite. I just wanted to be the one dissenting voice. I didn't think there was any chance that was gonna happen.
I have tried to watch Attack on Titan 3 times because I keep on hearing how good it is, and I die of boredom every
Yeah. I made it through season 1 the first time, and I can't. I'm okay.
This is interesting. So I'm looking. You got me curious, Pete, with this this list of TV episodes rating, counting down or whatever. So the
Yep.
top one is a Breaking Bad episode that has a
Ozymandias?
10.0.
No, yeah.
Ozymandias,
Yeah.
yep, that one. And then it's 2 episodes from the new Attack on Titan,
Okay.
and then a bunch of Star Wars: The Clone Wars episodes. There's that also random Chernobyl and Mr. Robot and Lazy Town episodes thrown in there as
Hey.
well.
Yo,
The
Lazy
Big
Town.
One
It's probably the bake the cake episode. It's a piece
Some
of cake
Game
to
of
make a pretty cake.
Thrones. Yep. Oh, Hannibal's on here too. Some more Breaking Bad, some Game of Thrones. So that and Vinland Saga too. Ooh, cool. So that's it. Take that list with a grain of salt. Oh wow, look at that number 21. I was looking for this Demon Slayers episode. You know,
19,
the one that blew up Twitter, which we'll get to that
Yep.
later.
Yes,
So
we
maybe I should
will.
shut up for a little bit. I'm gonna shut up.
All
So
right.
go ahead.
All right. So this is the first half of it. So in terms of rating, 2019 has a 3-2 lead over 2015 in rating. But now we're going to move over to the popularity side. First up, the number 5 popular show from 2015, we have Food Wars Season 1 going up against Dr. Stone. This one was insanely tough for me because as Food Wars is progressing, it's getting significantly worse. But Season 1 of Food Wars is incredible. I love Food Wars so much. Dr. Stone, on the other hand, the second arc of Season 1 was a 10 out of 10. I thought it was near perfect. I absolutely loved the second half of Dr. Stone. Both of these are 9s for me in my mouth. So it's really hard to determine which one of these is like the best. But one of these animes is the one that got me into anime. And of all shows, it was Food Wars. I'm going with Food Wars.
Oh, what a bad taste from
Oh
Food
my God.
Wars.
Okay, are we just
Get
forcing
it? Do
these
you
puns
get it?
now?
Do you get it? I'm sorry. God forbid I make a pun. It's funny. It was funny. Laugh.
Yeah, it
Laugh.
wasn't.
Give me the laugh track. Someone roll
Ha
the
ha
laugh
ha
track.
ha 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 ha.
Thank you.
Adam.
I'm. I think that joke fell like a rock, just like Dr. Stone is going to Food Wars. So, no, I don't have anything against Dr. Stone. I'm sure it's great, but I love Food Wars, especially season 1. Like Pete said, it really was like I mean, it's a very memeable show for one thing, but like it got me interested back in anime in 2015. Like I was kind of on a hiatus and only really watching bad stuff like Sword Art Online. So that kind of so
Ouch.
I'm gonna give it to Food Wars for getting me back into anime.
All right, Pat.
So there's a lot to digest here. I'm sorry. No, I think Dr. Stone was just a more enjoyable show for me. I couldn't watch Food Wars. I think I tried one episode and I was just like, why are they doing this? You know, like, and it was just too much for me at the time. Maybe if I went back and watched it, I'd probably have a great time with it. But Dr. Stone, like Pete said, that second arc was so good.
So
And
good.
I also, one thing that is important to know about it too, I feel like this was one of those Crunchyroll produced this, I believe, too.
They're
Didn't
like the
they?
licensor or something like
They
that.
they
But
licensed. I don't know. Yeah, so it's not the same as like with Tower of God or God of High School
correct.
where they're doing that's like a step further, but a step back was which I think this is. I think Dr. Stone and the popularity that it got from being so heavily marketed. Like I remember when I went to
Insanely.
Anime Boston. Yeah, I went to Anime Boston convention. This show, Crunchyroll, was shoving this show down your throat.
Yes,
Like
they
it was
were.
all over the place. And which is why I watched it in the first place. Although otherwise I probably wouldn't have tried it. But I think that was like the first step towards them then moving on to Tower God and God of High School in terms of them like picking a show each season to produce
Yep.
or to license or whatever. So I think that combined with the fact that I enjoyed Dr. Stone more than Food Wars, I think that's why I go with Dr. Stone because
All
it
right.
influenced now Crunchyroll, the biggest anime provider in the West, uh, produced anime, I guess.
Yep. Okay, Haz, you're up next.
So I'm gonna save you all from another dog shit pun, because I actually care about the viewers. Food Wars and Doctor Stone are both great shows. Food Wars, forgive me if I'm wrong. I wasn't exactly plugged into anime culture online at this time, but I feel like Food Wars did a lot for alternative battle shonen. Um, like when I think of alternative battle shonen, I think that's the genre that I'm thinking of. Like Food Wars comes to mind, and it's really well done. I fucking loved it. It was such a weird concept, but it was so fun. Uh, I'm of the opinion that the later seasons are still okay. Maybe not as good as season one was, but I also feel like because season one was just so different that I have it at a higher standard where now I'm used to that.
Sure.
Doctor Stone is one of the few anime that made me pick up manga, which doesn't happen often. The only other show that I could think of is Rosario Vampire and the Berserk Golden Age movie. Yeah, Doctor Stone is amazing. I wish it was not a seasonal and it was every week we got a new episode because it's just amazing to me, and I think it's really under not rated but appreciated by the community for what it does in terms of world building and making these simple things really exciting to see. And hopefully, like, maybe someone out there learned how to do something and pass a test because of it in their chemistry class or some bullshit. I don't know.
Yep.
Senku's the GOAT. Dr. Stone got this for me. But Food Wars is great. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't be mad to go that way either.
And before
The
we go to
opening,
Miles
too.
real quick, I think that's a really good point because Shonen Jump is known for its like big three, and then we had a new show kind of like start paving the way for a different style, and that was Food Wars. So like props in terms of like the manga, and now we're kind of seeing it with Act Age, which is like so in terms of like One Piece and Shonen Jump, like the third most popular manga in Shonen Jump now is Act Age, which is a teen girl who's an actress. So it's like it's really cool how to see these different types of the landscapes are shaping Shonen Jump since it's such a huge influence to anime. So I just want to give props to Food Wars, and then hopefully we see Act Age in 2021 with its anime adaptation. So for the fourth straight time, we have Miles with the deciding vote, or is it the fifth?
Sixth, I believe. Oh no, because
No,
Love is
Love is War
Oh,
was
yeah,
5-0,
fifth
yeah.
straight time. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys know this about me, but my dad has a PhD in geology. So in some ways, he is a stone doctor.
Ooh.
And you
Is
know,
that real? Is that actually true, or is that
it's
just
actually true. Yeah, you get UT Austin, in class of '91.
Go
But
Niners.
so and also I'm a chemist, so I also like sort of dig that sort of thing. Not sure if you guys knew that. I don't know if I ever talk about that.
I don't know. We're learning a lot about you today.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about me. And despite all of that, Aaron Anakari is a fucking babe, so I'm gonna give it to Food Wars.
All right.
Yes.
God.
That's actually surprising. I legit thought you were gonna go Dr. Stone, but
I'm not gonna
Oh, no.
lie. This is the first time like a reason for a show made me, the person who thinks High School DxD, Rosario Vampire and Girls Bar are like top 3 anime of all. You're a fucking degenerate.
Okay, Haz. All right, so we gave a point to 2015. Just to let you know, for the fans out there, it is now 3-3. So we got ourselves a nail biter.
Here's 3?
Let's move it to the number 4 most popular. This one I think is gonna be a little fun. We have Death Parade from 2015
Wow.
going up against the Rising
Wow.
of the Shield Hero.
Okay.
This is tough because I liked Shield Hero, and then the more I thought about it, I didn't like Shield Hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Death Parade, especially with the OP, is sort of has the Madoka effect of you think
Everybody,
exactly Bradio's
put your
flyers is
hands
insane.
up.
But it's one of those shows where like you think it's one type of show, and then it's like no, that's not what it is. This one's tough because I liked Rising of the Shield Hero when I saw it, and
Mhm.
I think Death Parade is okay. I think it's like an 8.5 on Mal, and I think it's
very
like,
high.
I think it's more than like the 7 range, which I gave the Rising of the Shield Hero. But I hated that priest arc in Shield Hero so much until it docked me the point. I'm going with Death Parade. Adam, you're up.
This is like the hardest one for me too because, well, I feel like I'm a bigger fan of Shield Hero than most people in here.
It was your
I don't
runner-up for
think
Anime of the Year last year.
it was. I still don't think it was that. Like, it's a good show in my opinion, but like I don't know if it's like pushed the boundaries of anything, and I certainly don't hear about it all that much, even a year later. And Death Parade is something that I do remember being in the zeitgeist in the years following. So even though I did have very high opinions of Shield Hero in 2019, and I still really like it, I'm gonna give it to Death Parade.
All right, Pat.
So I'm in the middle of watching Death Parade right now for the first time. It's a show I've wanted to watch forever because of the OP, and then also hearing that the OP is misleading made me want to watch it because I was like, what's the opposite of this cheery this cheery happy dancing party that of like people? And now I see 5 episodes in or so that it is quite quite the misleading opening.
Mm-hmm.
Same with P. I think we've been indoctrinated by Miles into
Yeah, kind of.
hating the Rising of the Shield Hero. I wouldn't say hating though. I liked it.
Yeah, let's
And
get to
I
Miles'
still enjoy it.
opinion towards the end. He'll
Yeah,
voice his concerns.
right. No, that's fair. That's but I do think he has influenced us into disliking it more.
I agree.
Uh, I however, though, will still stand by that. I think it was enjoyable. It's a popcorn show for me. It's not something I'm looking at and saying critically, "Oh, this was fantastic." It's me sitting there saying, "Oh, this is cool action." Right, Raftalia is awesome. The lolly bait's annoying, but it's whatever. It's part of the show. Um, and one thing too, though, that I think was important about Rising the Shield Hero was that show took off, right? And then they announced not only season 2 but
But
season
season
3
3,
as
yep.
well, which is that's a not common. Season 2 is a hard to come by in anime, let alone a season 3 announced ahead of even season two's production starting. So I think that's it had a pretty big impact in the anime community, I would say, because it's pretty popular. Like it became mainstream versus Death Parade. Again, I wasn't really around the anime community too much in 2015, but I feel like that show has turned into a bit more of a niche show. Like
It's like a
it's
cult
obviously
classic
it's
now.
like a cult classic is a good way to put it, comparatively at least. So I would say I think I'm gonna go with Death Parade myself, but I think Shield Hero has had more of an impact, or we will see more of an impact of Shield Hero in the anime community than Death Parade made.
Yeah, and then like you said earlier with Doctor Stone, Shield Hero is the exact same way. Where like Crunchyroll is like pumping money into
Yeah,
this show,
it
like
was.
so.
When we went to Crunchyroll Expo, that was everywhere. They had a
That
Shield Hero game. Which
Adam played it.
Did we record me playing that? So they give you
I
this like. I'm gonna go into it for a sec. They gave you this like cardboard cutout shield, and they blew up a bunch of orange balloons, and you had to like pop them only using the shield and like your weight. And so I have a bit of weight on me. It was pretty easy for the most part. But yeah, they give you like 15 seconds just in this cage to pop balloons with a shield. But they were going all out
Oh
for it
yeah,
at
people are
Crunchyroll
going.
Expo.
Yeah, you gotta get that free merch for
Yeah.
popping balloons.
Can you imagine doing that now with the state of the world? Like how crazy that is to look back and say, "Oh man, I was flopping around on the floor wearing a cardboard cutout shield that they gave me with thousands of other strangers doing the exact same
Yep.
thing beforehand." Like it's so crazy to think about how different. Yeah,
Rest in peace, cons for 2020. All right, Haz, you're up.
seriously. Hopefully.
So I have not heard enough of anyone's discontent. Well, that's a lie. I have heard the rumblings that you guys do not like Rising of the Shield Hero beforehand. Um, but I think much to what Pete was saying and what Pat was saying, the first time you run through it, I think it's a very enjoyable experience. And I think the more you think about it, sure, you could deconstruct it and make it a less enjoyable experience. But I don't think it's a show that you have to spend time on thinking about. And I think that's for me at least, like it's just a very enjoyable show. It's sort of uh not that these are my words, but people say that My Hero Academia is a very fundamental show in terms of shonen or battle shonen, and it's just improving upon that and making it more solid. That's kind of how I feel Rising of the Shield Hero is with the SAO formula of Isekai. Um, it's just an improvement. Not that I understand you all have very varying opinions on SAO's quality.
True.
But yeah, no, I also can't take away the fact that Rising of the Shield Hero in recent memory is one of the only shows that made me hate a character so much. I fucking hate bitch Kun, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
And I can't take away like the skill in writing, like setting up that situation. It was executed beautifully. Past that point, it was just good action. It was fun. Raftali is cute. Now Fumi is fucking edgelord, but like he's a cool ass edgelord to me. Death Parade, super interesting. My ex actually texted me the other day on IG telling me to watch it, which I already have. So fuck
Is that a
you.
message she's trying to send you?
It's been a year or two. I don't remember, but if that's how she feels still, I mean, damn. But no, it's super interesting. I skip OP, so I wasn't really missing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah. Shame on me.
Yeah.
If it's not Lisa, I'm not bumping it. Sorry.
that's fair enough.
But
Not
yeah,
fair
no,
enough.
Death Parade's super interesting. Love the characters in it. Love the show. But I just had more enjoyment watching Rising of the Shield here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give it to that one.
All right. And sorry, Miles. I know your vote, but please say whatever you'd like.
Yeah. So, as every single one of you knows about me, everyone knows.
Everyone knows. This.
I hate the Rising of the Shield Hero. I believe I gave it a 4 on Mal, and that is just because it is like constructed well enough from a animation standpoint that its absolute floor is a 4. So, I hate it. I hate Naofumi. I hate every character in it except for maybe Raftalia. Everyone's stupid. The world is just filled with idiots who don't think about themselves at all. I think it's arguably pretty pro-slavery. I just hate everything about it. I just hate the show so much. The premise of the show is that you have an underpowered defensive hero who like can't just one-shot people, and then like 7 episodes in, he gets the ability to one-shot people.
Yeah.
Ruining the entire premise of the show. I hate it. I fucking hate the show. I fucking hate everything about it. I fucking hate Philo. I fucking hate Malty. I fucking hate the entire show. God fucking damn it. I'm giving it to Death Parade, but I want to make this very clear. This could have been almost any other fucking anime, and I would vote for it. Like anything. Honestly, anything. Like, I fucking hate the Rising of the Shield Hero. Fuck it.
Okay. Now you guys know how Miles feels about Shield Hero, so there's no...
You really
fucking
don't, though.
text.
Here's the thing. You don't know how he feels because he
don't-
held back. He held back.
He did
So,
hold
You
back.
don't know until it just randomly appears in a general chat. Like there'll be no comment. Like,
Yeah.
fuck this show.
he'll just
fucking
randomly add it.
Someone saying something positive about Shield Hero is to me is saying Beetlejuice 3 times is to Beetlejuice. Like it
Okay.
just makes me show up.
That's true. Okay, so I think we got our Shield Hero frustration out of the way. So in a 4-1 victory for 2015, we have Death Parade over Shield Hero. Up next for the number 3 for popularity, we have Assassination Classroom Season 1 going up against The Promised Neverland Season 1. Man, I think this is a really tough one. I think if this was Assassination Classroom Season 2, it would be even tougher because that has one of the most like memorable, I'll say, moments in anime. I think if you've seen this show, you know what I mean by moments. Koro Sensei is legit one of the best main characters in anime history. I absolutely love Koro Sensei. Great supporting cast, a great mixture of like comedy and then like real life like situations and drama, and you just get to know the characters and fall in love with them. But that being said, I adore The Promised Neverland. I think how they incorporate fear with not actually like showing people like getting murdered, of just not knowing what's next or the threat lingering. I think they did a great job. I love Emma. I love Norman. I love Ray. Mother Crone or Sister Crone was such a great like character for the time being. Promised Neverland was one of my best shows of the last year. I gave it a 10. I think it's fantastic. I can't wait for season 2. My vote goes to The Promised Neverland.
Well, you might not know this about me, but I haven't seen either of these series. But one of them I've heard nothing but amazing things from, and one of them seems far more interesting to me than the other. So, for that reason alone, I'm going to give it to The Promised Neverland. I'm interested in the idea that you can have this dark, like, almost horror style show without showing a lot of the things that make like normally you would show to make like that horror really play out. So I'm gonna give it to Promise Neverland, but take that with a grain of salt,
And
I
this is
guess.
as Adam has the Assassination Classroom
Yeah,
manga collection in this background.
it was on sale.
I
So I
had to
bought
get it.
I mean, I buy stuff just to buy it most of the time.
True. All right, Patrick, you're up.
Oh gosh, so I've only seen Promised Neverland. I haven't seen Assassination Classroom. Just again, it's not a show that I feel like would interest me. But however, I have heard so much good stuff about the show. So this is tough because I feel like Assassination Classroom is more mainstream than Promised Neverland was or is.
They're, I'd say
Which
they're
who knows?
pretty close. They're both
I
Shonen Jump adaptations.
Oh well, I guess they're both. No, but I mean like mainstream. I guess in terms of like outside of even like anime, a lot of people who are like, oh, I've seen only like one or two anime. It's like they'll say one of them is Assassination Classroom, right? I feel like so. I don't know. I enjoyed Promised Neverland a lot more
Okay.
though. I feel than in terms of like or I think I would enjoy it more because I have seen it than I would have enjoyed Assassination Classroom. So I'm gonna have to go with Promised Neverland as well.
Okay, has.
I on sometimes late at night when I'm really bored and I'm walking into my closet and I just see everything from like I just got out of high school. I still have my uniform there. Sometimes I put on a little polo shirt with a blazer. I look in the fucking mirror in the bathroom and I'm like, you are karma, okay, bitch. You're in the assassination classroom. I don't know where your teacher's at, but you're gonna fuck his shit up one day.
Yep.
And honestly, Promised Neverland just never hit for me. I'm a very when it comes to dark things, I'm a very gory person more than the suspense. It doesn't hit for me anymore. So honestly, Assassination Classroom got it. It's a slapper. I am karma. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And Miles, round it out for us.
Sure. This is a very good matchup, I'd say. As many people have mentioned. They're both very good shows. To me, I think that the edge has to go to Promised Neverland, and I just think it's because I don't know. I really like horror. It's probably my favorite genre in like media, either horror or mystery, and it's got both. And horror is, I think, historically not been done very well in anime for the most part. So when someone's able to pull it off, it gets some extra appreciation for me. So something like Promise Neverland, which it manages to stay distinctly anime, but also pulls off the horror well, is something I really appreciate. I think that Isabella is like a pretty underrated best anime, I guess, antagonist of all time. Yep. And not that underrated. People have her up there, but like I think she's a little underappreciated. So I'm going to give it to Promise Neverland. But shout out to Assassination Classroom, very good show.
Yeah, and what you said about the brother, I think a lot of years she would have probably been the best antagonist of the year, but unfortunately she ran into Ascalon from Vinland Saga, who is now my number 2 favorite character of all time. So it's yeah. So in a 4-1 victory for 2019, we have The Promised Neverland. On to the number 2 most popular show from 2015, we have Tokyo Ghoul Route A versus the disappointing One Punch Man season 2. Now, somebody who has seen Tokyo Ghoul, can you please tell me, is this the really bad one where they like moved away from the manga?
Yeah, like really
the shit one.
Doesn't cover. Anyway, not to get ahead of how I'm going to vote, but
okay,
there's a difference.
Okay, so I've only seen One Punch Man season 2, and I really only liked Garu in terms of like what they added to the like season over season type of thing. I really liked him as the villain. King was okay, but it's like we didn't really hit as well as I thought he was going to hit. But from what I heard, Tokyo Ghoul Route A is an absolute dumpster fire. Like, as bad as One Punch Man season 2 was, I don't think it's as bad as Route A, so I'm gonna go with One Punch Man season 2 reluctantly.
Yeah, I'm with you on this because I haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul Route A, but one of my buddies who actually just recently joined our Discord, which you guys should if you are enjoying these discussions.
Sick plug.
I love the plug.
I had to talk to him about it because he has seen Tokyo Ghoul Route A, and his thing was pretty much what Miles was saying. It deviates a lot, and he called it a dumpster fire. I'm gonna go along with him and be like, if it's that bad, that I have to give it to One Punch Man season 2 because it wasn't a dumpster fire. It just was disappointing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, One Punch Man season 2 wins for just not being as bad.
All right, has.
I thought it was Pat.
Oh, Pat, sorry.
It
My
is.
bad.
It's okay. You skip over me. But I was gonna say, can I actually abstain from voting? Can I vote for neither? That was gonna be my joke.
You
but,
can flip a
kinda
coin
beat
if
me
you
to-
want or something.
Kind of beat me to the punch.
Count the rotations in the air.
Yes. Well, then the coin might land in
Oh,
between.
so no game, no life shit. Okay.
Yes. Oh, that would be. Oh God, I love that show. I love that scene. I think One Punch Man season 2 was just. I think the hatred for the show, even though I it's not my kind of show, I will always say One Punch Man is so overrated as a show. I'm not a fan of it myself, but I think part of the reason why season 2 was so disappointing was because of how well liked season 1 was. So I think that if season 2 was released, it wasn't tied to season 1 in terms of like how good it was expected to be. I think it wouldn't be as poorly looked upon as like it is, I guess. If
They
I
switched
I don't know.
studios, which hurt.
They switched studios didn't help it either too. So, but I still have to go with One Punch Man because I think in terms of, well, I can't really say it in terms of mainstream appeal. It's more appealing to Tokyo Ghoul,
They're
but
really close, honestly. Like,
they're pretty close. But like I think I've heard that all of Tokyo Ghoul is a dumpster fire. But I've heard that the rewriting or the
I think the
square root
manga
of it-
is like really liked, but like the anime is a dumpster fire.
right,
type of
the
thing.
anime. Sorry, is what I should say. The anime, the adaptation is a dumpster fire.
There you
So
go.
I'm
Yep.
gonna go with the dumpster that is smoking but not on fire yet.
Gotcha.
Punch Man.
Okay. Has, I think I know your vote, but please say what you need to say.
No, I'm. This is actually really hard because the way that Miles feels about Rising of the Shield Hero is the way I feel about both Tokyo Ghoul and One Punch Man. And the worst part is, right, as much as I hated, like I wanted to spit on both One Punch Man season 1 and Tokyo. The fact that there were second parts that are fucking worse is amazing. It's actually like a miracle that you can make shittier shows, right? One Punch Man is not funny. The jokes suck cock. The satire is garbage. Okay? It's barely a fucking sign-in. It's a sign-in for the. I can't even say that because we're on. It. One Punch Man sucks. Tokyo Ghoul takes everything about edge culture and it's a fucking Nirvana song, slowed reverb with pitch down on 20 decibels. These songs are garbage.
So we think
So what?
So I'm
Has
gonna
went
flip my
with,
phone.
Tokyo Ghoul.
He
I think
threw
you
his
went
I'm
for
gonna flip my phone, and I'm gonna put heads is Tokyo Ghoul, which means screen, and the camera is One Punch Man season 2.
Throw it on your bed, please.
It's Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oof.
All right.
I'm sorry.
that was great, Miles. Please. I don't
Yeah.
think you can top that, but go ahead.
I don't really know how I follow that. But I mean, for me, it's One Punch Man season 2, which is like fine. I don't know. It wasn't as good as One Punch Man season 1, but I don't think it would be bad if it wasn't following one of the best shows of all time. So Tokyo Ghoul Rude is bad.
Okay.
Bad any way you look at it. I will say that I would vote for Tokyo Ghoul Rude over Shield Hero, and I just want to make that clear. It is not the matchup, so I'm going to have to give it to One Punch Man Season 2.
All right. So in a 4-1 victory, I think we all reluctantly pick One Punch Man Season 2 over Tokyo
This
Ghoul
was-
Route A.
The worst matchup.
That was
I'm
a really
so
bad
glad.
matchup.
I'm so glad this isn't the end because this would be the worst sour taste to leave this
Well-
fucking battle. Fuck.
I think it's a good matchup.
Yo,
This is a good matchup.
Has,
to
you're not
end
done
on.
yet because the number one popular show from 2015 is One Punch Man Season 1 going up against Demon Slayer.
This is an easy one. This is easy. Come on, Has.
This is a very easy one.
This is tough for me.
This is like a slam dunk for one of them.
For me at least. They both have like humongous cultural impacts. I both thoroughly enjoyed both seasons. Wow. I think like Demon Slayer, it gets a lot of hate, but I think that's more towards the manga how it ends. But I thought season 1 of Demon Slayer was absolutely incredible. I thought Ufotable did a fantastic job, but that's also saying season 1 of One Punch Man. I think Madhouse did it. I could be mistaken, but like they also did a great job of like the animation as well. I mean, the webtoon is terrible looking. I know they like adapted the manga to make it look better, but the webtoon is garbage in terms of how it looks. Really tough because they both have really high ratings for me, but I think this one I'm just going to give it to whichever one I have a higher Mal rating on, because they both have like insane influence, especially if recent. They both have like insane fan bases and everything like that. I'm going to go with Demon Slayer on this one.
Ooh. All right. I'm really on the fence here, but it's really hard for me to not take the impact that season 2 of One Punch Man had against season 1 a little bit. I know that's not fair.
No, this is only season
Fair at
1.
all.
This is
I know,
only
I
season
know.
1.
But like, I don't know how. I feel like a bit of my love for the One Punch Man season 1 was lost when season 2 came out. Like, I don't look forward to season 3 as much anymore.
I hope
Well,
they
I
don't
do
make a
look
season
forward,
3.
but I do look forward to seeing more Demon Slayer. I don't know. I have a One Punch Man shirt, and I don't have a Demon Slayer shirt, so I'm gonna give it to One Punch Man.
All right. I'm cool with that.
That's
Tiebreaker.
one way to vote.
All right, Pat, not has.
Yes. I don't know. Like you said, both of these had a huge cultural impact, but for me, Demon Slayer, like Ninja was tweeting about Ninja in his prime Ninja too, not Ninja now where he's like
cares?
fallen off a bit. Ninja was
You're
tweeting about
breaking
it.
the rule of
Fucking-
Discord. No Fortnite.
It's not. I'm talking about Ninja. He's a streamer. He was a former COD pro or Halo pro, not a Halo pro. Yeah, no. But Ninja was tweeting about it. I mean, freaking everybody was talking about it. And that episode 19 too. I watched it and I sat there, jaw dropped at the end of it, and I had to rewatch it like 3 times to just like fully get it. And then I made my roommate catch up to me on the series, and then we watched episode 19 together, and his jaw was dropped, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Like this show, it did the thing that all popular shows do that when they blow up is where they get like, oh my god, it's so incredible, and then they start to fall off because everyone's like, oh, it's overrated, that's mainstream, no one, too many people like it now, so it's not cool to like it. It had that moment, but for me, but even then, I still think it was fantastic. Like, there's so many good things you can say about Demon Slayer, and so few bad things you can say. One Punch Man's just not my kind of show, so this one's easy for me. A Demon Slayer by far, like the impact and in quality. I can't. Oh my god, that show is so good.
Okay. Has. I think I know your answer, but please say what you need to say.
So this is actually kind of hard because when I watched Sing yesterday for me, right?
Oh boy.
Right?
Oh boy, guys, get ready.
It was 11 episodes of greatness, right? And I was really invested. And then the last episode made me want to blow up a building, right? Like and the reason I have that show so so badly rated is because of the disappointment. Like, the disappointment was so bad it took away from the show as a whole. One Punch Man, this is the battle of consistent dog shit versus disappointment. One Punch Man, consistent ass, right? Start to finish, dog shit. I wouldn't even spit on it. Fuck that. It doesn't deserve my spit. Demon Slayer's first episode slapped. It hooked me. I was convinced. As the series goes on, I'm like, I really don't give a fuck about any of these characters. So again, I'm gonna grab the phone. I'm gonna throw it in the air. And screen side up is One Punch Man, and down is Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Demon Slayer.
All right.
Right, the phone made the right choice for you.
And Miles, you're last.
Yeah, so one of these, shows is a generic battle shonen with one fight that people like, and the other one
God.
is One Punch Man. So, And you know what? Honestly, out of the two shows, the show with the better fight scene is One Punch Man. I mean, I don't even know what you could say Demon Slayer has on it. The Sea King fight, Pat, because you're looking at me audaciously. Moomin Rider is so much. It is, if the entire anime was just that scene, it would be better than Demon Slayer, which isn't a good show. Because it's Battle Shonen, and Battle Shonen sucks. But you know what doesn't?
I hate Battle Shonen, and I
Can we
still
get to
love
the next
it.
one? I'm gonna have a hard
Battle Shonen.
Yeah,
I despise Battle Shonen. Go ahead.
No, he can. I'm calling him out. He's allowed to talk back. That's fine. Anyways, I'm giving it to One Punch Man. I'm disappointed in all of you that didn't vote for it. Adam, I'm not disappointed in you. I could never be. Okay.
All right, so that's our wrap up. 2015 versus 2019 in terms of ratings. 2019 wins. 2019 won.
Sorry, between Demon Slayer and One Punch.
Oh,
Sorry,
Demon Slayer won 3-2 over One Punch
Thank
Man.
God. Oh my God.
By a phone flip.
By a phone flip. So, with a 6-4 overall victory, 2019 will advance.
Let's go.
All right, so that was a tough one. It was literally maybe one vote deciding. Maybe that coin flip over there with your the phone flip.
It's amazing. Just looking at what's popular, it's amazing how shit floats to the top, right?
Right?
Like,
Crazy.
fuck this shit.
All right, next we are going to be moving on to 2010 versus 2016. This one's gonna be a little difficult, I think, because there's gonna be some shows that maybe a lot of people haven't seen, but I think we can still use our collective brains and hive mind together to, a concise victory. So, but first time we're going to start with the ranked instead of popularity. I'm gonna switch it up from the last one. So
We did ranked first last time.
did we?
We started from the bottom.
Oh, okay. Then we're gonna do popularity. Good call. All right. So for the number 5 popular show from 2010, we have Orimo season 1 going up against Mob Psycho season 1.
I'm gonna prediction. One of us is going to vote for Orimo.
Yeah, probably.
Matchup of the fucking decade.
I'm not gonna say anything because. I mean, I am, but not to extent. It's Mob Psycho. It's not even close. If you say Orimo, you're a degen, and that's all I'm saying. All right, Adam.
I hate Kirino. I'm gonna say that. I think she's one of the worst tsunderes ever created. She's all Tsun, no Dere, and that takes away all the appeal of the entire series. So, Mob Psycho.
All right, Pat.
I mean, if we want to talk about influence, isn't that show still talked about?
Unfortunately, it is.
So, that's all. This is. You could make a case for that, but
you could.
You could, but I don't want to.
You want to be the guy to make that?
I don't want to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. So, Mob Psycho, the show that is just stunning. It's such a good show. I have to go with Mob Psycho. It's
good
not.
Call.
I can't.
Has.
Well, Miles, you were fucking right. Okay.
God damn.
In my USB, right, where I have all my backups for my music, my passwords for accounts lost to time, and memes. My meme folder has 30 Orimo memes in it. So that, on top of the fact that Mob Psycho has any connection to One fucking Punch, Orimo.
Okay, Miles, please tell me your thoughts on this one.
I don't. It's Mob Psycho. It's not close. This conversation is over. Let's move to the next matchup.
All right. So in a 4-1 decisive victory, somehow Mob Psycho season 1 takes over Orimo season 1. Next up, we have
this battle. This is a matchup.
Yes, from 2010, we have Maid-sama going up against Konosuba Season 1. Little about me, my first ever waifu is Misaki from Maid-sama. I adore her. This is essentially what got my foot into the door for rom-coms, and I love their story, I love their characters. However, Konosuba is my number 3 anime of all time. So it's which one to me means the most, because one of them definitely influenced my favorite style of anime, which is rom-coms. And then one is my 3rd favorite anime of all time. I thought this was going to be an easy pick. It's actually kind of harder to think about when I think about stuff like that. I think I'm going to give it to Konosuba, but it's extremely close. I love Maid-sama, and if you haven't seen Maid-sama, you should watch Maid-sama. That's all I'm going to say. Adam!
I'm with you 100%, Pete. Maid Sama is wonderful, and I feel like most shows that we've talked about today, I might have given Maid Sama the win, but not against Konosuba. It's too hard. I'd given it against a couple of the shows we're gonna talk about later. It's a bad matchup for it. Konosuba wins for me.
Yep, I agree. Pat.
I agree as well. I think Konosuba influenced so many shows too, and like so many shows are trying to be Konosuba. You know, like nowadays where it's the gag humor, but also living in it like isekai gag humor almost. I guess I don't even know what to say. It's so great. The show Konosuba has gotten better and better with each iteration of it. And but even saying that Konosuba season 1 is so much fun. I cannot say enough good things about it. Maid Sama is just I can't speak too much about it because I haven't seen it,
You
but
should.
it does. I'm sure it's good, and I'm sure I'd love it because I like rom-coms too. That's my jam, my bread and butter. But Konosuba is just a world of its own. Like I am foaming at the mouth for season 3 to be announced, and I can't believe it hasn't yet.
I haven't.
I am mind blown. That is like one of the biggest yeah, the No Game No Life season 2, like that's like a meme. This is actually like mind blowing that after how well the movie did, that Konosuba season 3 hasn't been announced in some facet even. Like I cannot believe
They had to make
that it hasn't come.
that PS4 game first with all the voice actors before
Yeah,
making season 3. At least that's what I'm hoping.
I still cannot believe it's one of the wonders of the world. It really is.
It really is. Has your turn.
Konosuba, hilarious and inspired, or I believe that there was some influence from it that trickled down into one of my other favorite shows, which had me in tears, which was Cautious Hero.
Yep.
Despite the fact its ending was unearned.
Hmm.
Maid Sama, it actually surprises me it was in 2010 because when I think back to it, because I watched it recently now that it's on Netflix, the style of it in terms of art direction and design of characters, compared to everything else, at least on this, it feels like dated, but not in a bad way. Like I feel like older anime had a certain charm designs, but it was just refined more. The lines were cleaner. It was a little nicer aesthetic, and it was widescreen. Maid Sama slaps. These are two very different shows. This is actually, I think, Konosuba as a like a franchise, like a series, progressively gets better. And Maid Sama, while the ending wasn't necessarily conclusive in terms of the story that was presented, it's still surprisingly satisfactory, at least to me.
I
And
agree.
just it's one of the few shows that mixes that old aesthetic and charm, but it's updated, and the romance and rom-com is just really funny to me. So I'm gonna give it to Maid Sama, but it honestly could have gone to Konosuba.
All right, and round it out, Miles.
So, Maid Sama is sort of like the type of show where you're browsing on Netflix and you like pause on it for half a second and then you just like decide to watch Parks and Rec for the 5th time.
Yeah.
And Konosuba is 10 out of 10 anime for me, in my opinion, the best isekai ever. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Konosuba.
All right, so in a 4-1 victory over Maid Sama, we have the winner as Konosuba. All
I feel like
right,
I'm getting
next.
singled out here
I
all
mean,
the fucking time.
it's tough, honestly, but. All right, next up, 4. What are we doing? Popularity? Popularity. All right, we have from 2010, we have Durarara versus Erase from 2016. Haven't seen either of these, so this one's gonna be tough for me. But I hate bad endings. It ruins the show for me. From what I've been told, Erase has a terrible ending because you can foreshadow the murderer the entire time. And from what I've heard, Durarara has a very good ending that like closes the piece, or that like puts the pieces together as the show goes on. So out of default, I'm going with Durarara.
I'm just gonna copycat what you said. I have no opinion one way or the other, and I really don't care. Do rah rah rah.
All right. Pat, hopefully you've seen one of these.
You would be mistaken or heartbroken, I guess, because I have not seen either. Erase though that's the one with the umbrella scene, right? Isn't that the one,
That
or is
is
that?
no. That's
Another?
Another.
another.
Oh God, I always mix those two up.
It's the yeah, I understand totally.
It's like the same art style, and it's also like the setting and the mystery, like, oh, what's happening vibe. I don't know. I could not get into either, but I've heard Durarara's opening slaps. I mean,
Yes, it
I
does.
like it's very
So does
catchy and it's
Erase though. Erase has a great OP. It's like one of the
Erase.
highest, most popular OPs on like YouTube.
I think it's overrated personally.
Ooh.
I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy Durarara. I guess is my statement there. I mean, it's not a bad opening. Erased isn't, but Durarara said catchy. You're just jamming out. You know, you're bobbing your head along, and the what do you call it? All the art too is cool. Like on the motorcycle. Like I don't know. I like Durarara. So I'm gonna have to go with that one.
All right, has.
I watched the race, and I have not finished Durara. I started watching it. I'm on episode 4 right now, and as I do agree that a race does not have a good ending, but I feel like the journey of it is still enjoyable for me. So I kind of like a race. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Durara is really cool. It's really interesting. Like the one thing I like in my anime, in terms of setting, is like city nighttime nightlife. Really cool. It kind of gives me the vibes of like K Project, but with the style of Persona. Um, and yeah, it's been really fun. The only criticism I have of Durarara that I don't have of Erased is that Durarara isn't presented as a mystery, but at least for the 4 episodes that I've seen, it's very, while each of the episodes is very enjoyable, it's nothing that's going to take you out. When you think about it as a collective, I don't really see where the show's going. So I'm going to have to give it to Erase just because of cohesion. But,
Okay.
Both of these are good shows. And if Durara's, maybe I'll be on the Anime Club saying Durara was great once I finish it, and it should have been that.
All right. Miles, run it out for us.
So I much like almost everyone besides Has have not seen either of these. I quickly read the synopsises on Mal to see which one intrigued me more. And so, despite its apparently awful ending, I'm going to give it to Erased because it sounds slightly more interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't listen to me if you're listening to this. It doesn't matter.
We have to figure out a way to like justify an answer. So if you like the synopsis of Erase better, then that's how it
Yeah,
goes.
yes, I mean, that's it. That's what I like.
It should
It sounds
sound
more
better.
interesting to me.
It should have been. It just
Okay.
wasn't.
Okay, good. Well,
According to people.
Yeah.
According to people.
In a 3-2 victory, though, Durarara takes it for 2010. This one is going to be real fun. The number 2 popular for
I'm
2010
holding my ground.
is High School of the Dead. And it's
Mhm.
going up against 2016's ReZero. This one is like the Mob Psycho versus Haiku one for me, last one. I love both these shows so much. High School of the Dead is, I mean, if we have a Mount Rushmore of ecchi, we have High School of the Dead as
Yes.
probably second in command behind DxD. It's just such an enjoyable show in so many different ways. But on the other hand, I think ReZero was a very creative isekai. How it dealt with the psychological struggles of madness, essentially. But I'm going to give this for my enjoyment take because I think they're both pretty similar in terms of rating. I'm going High School of the Dead. Adam.
I completely disagree with you. I think all the etchiness in High School of the Dead takes away from the zombies, and all the zombies takes away from the etchiness. I think it's a bad show. I hate it.
Oh,
Absolutely hate it. We've had this conversation, Pat, before, and I wrote an entire thing about how I'm not even going into it. Like what zombies normally mean when they show up in media, and their philosophical takes and stuff like that, and I'm like, I hate it. I absolutely hate everything High School of the Dead does. ReZero, it's not even.
my God.
Okay, Pat, please, your turn.
Okay, this was my big like I'm gonna defend this show to the end because High School of the Dead, and I gotta give credit to a lot of my arguments to a guy, best guy ever, is a YouTuber that made a video about it, and the video is literally called "High School of the Dead is great, you goddamn idiots," and it's so funny because he just goes on a rant that essentially encompasses what I'm about to say right now, which is that High School of the Dead does zombies better than any other anime has done because anime doesn't do zombies. It does the gore factor of it so well. It does the etchiness so well as well. The everything is flying everywhere. The girls are all interesting and attractive and actually do have personalities. Like they're not just like cutouts that are there just to look good. Like they have motivations, they have decisions that they make, and it is and conflict, internal conflict. It is such a good show. I think it is so underrated in terms of like people always just look at it like oh, it's DxD but just less not as good. Like I think it's better than DxD. I will defend this show to my death because I cannot stress enough how well it knows what it is. It's self-aware and it does what it does so well. I really wish that the mangaka, for one, didn't stop writing at one point due to illness, but then also unfortunately passed away as well because this was the manga I kept writing. It's one of the few shows I've ever read the manga for as well. Like it is so good. I cannot talk enough about how great this show is. So I like ReZero too. That's the other thing. It was tough because I enjoyed ReZero, but it didn't feel that different to me. And it didn't hit me as hard as I thought it would either after all the hype that it had. I'm enjoying season 2 right now, but High School of the Dead is it is, oh my God, I love this show so much. So High School of the Dead by
All
far. Can I
right.
give it 2 votes? Can I vote twice
You
for it,
can't.
please? No? Oh,
No,
damn.
sorry,
I was
not
really
this
hoping
time.
I could.
Maybe next time. We'll see. Has your turn.
Wow, talk about a hard ass matchup, right?
Yep.
I'm Harem King Has. I love that. Love the titties, right? Like this is my shit, right? But I I don't think I was in this Discord at the time, but when on Twitter, when the ReZero season 1 director's cut dropped, I was just like going back to rewatch it again. ReZero slaps too, and if you know, Pete might call me a psychopath for liking Dead 2 and being able to stomach it and laugh at the shit, right? But like that torture porn shit, that is ReZero, right? That shit slaps. It's like High School of the Dead. Not only High School of the Dead, but the beach episode OVA slaps. Hilarious. 10 out of 10. The zombie execution, like 10 out of 10. So what this is really gonna come down to is
The coin flip.
no, I'm not gonna coin flip. But you know, here's the thing too, right? We all know what Miles is gonna say because we all heard what Miles had to say about High School DxD, right? No one cares about Miles' opinion. His opinion is garbage.
Wow, come on, Has.
Whoa.
That's mean.
At least his opinion on Ecchi, garbage. It's tainted with relationships and real life thing. Like, stop.
That's
okay?
a fair statement. I guess that part's fair, but the rest of
What
it
did
was a little
Miles
too
do to
far.
you? He's a nice
God,
guy.
I don't own it. Please give me more.
See, he's into this. I'm scared now. Anyway, for me, simply because of the existence of Psycho, who is, if we had like harem categories, right, and just like you had to pick a loadout, right? Like my loadout would be like Yumiko, Psycho, Rias, right? Like she's in there. She's a god. She's a god. It's that blade shit. Look, Samurai Champloo would get fucked up by Psycho. Anyways, that High School of the Dead.
All right.
You had the clip too, the famous clip. That is so
That's
iconic.
everything wrong with the show. That's
No!
everything wrong with it.
It doesn't take
I
itself
can't
serious.
believe Adam's saying that's wrong with
Zombies
it.
are
There's
serious.
nothing wrong with that. That's the best part.
No, no.
It's edgy.
Look.
It's literally in the middle of them being surrounded by zombies.
Yes,
They're
And
panicking
that's
for their
not
lives,
a time for Ecchi.
and then they throw that in. It's the best part.
That's
It doesn't
dumb.
take itself seriously,
And
but it
everyone-
somehow is awesome. Oh my
That
God,
scene-
you are
that
so
scene-
wrong, Adam.
No,
I
you
cannot.
are absolutely wrong. They ruin what zombies mean as a
No.
societal thing. They get
No.
zombies entirely
Fight,
wrong.
fight,
Look.
fight.
It-
Wait,
I-
one more. one more
At
thing.
Anime New York City, you better watch yourself.
Ooh!
That's all I'm
Pat,
saying.
I'll
That's
end
all
you.
I'm saying.
It's
I
so
got
easy.
50 out of Adam. All right.
One more
You're
thing.
saying Has?
Actually,
Has, what are you
okay,
saying?
that
Dude,
hurts. I played hockey.
He's a state,
I was a state
wrestler.
wrestler.
Come on.
You're
I
done,
played
dude.
hockey. I did locker room wrestling. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I did real. It was mine was
I
real.
got 50 out of Adam, but Has, what were you saying?
and Pat just reminded me. If you are a fan of Future, right? If it's toxic season, you love massage. The anime starts with one of my favorite scenes in anime, where the MC just walks up to this girl and just bitch smacks her, right?
Yeah.
10 out of 10
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
That sniper shot. Look, you know how people are like, can he beat Goku? The physics of that sniper shot can beat Goku. There's no reason. Yeah.
All right. Before we get out of control, Miles, please state your case
Yeah.
for whichever one you like the most.
So actually, this is pretty hard for me. Because
Ha
yeah, like,
ha.
I think that like if I had to pick what is like I think ReZero would probably be in like my top 5 to 10 most overrated anime all time. And that's not to say it isn't good. It's a good show, but it's just like people act like it's a great show,
Right.
and it's like I don't know, it's good. So in much the same way that I have talked down Shield Hero to the people on this cast, I feel like Pat has talked up High School of the Dead.
True.
I think I'm still gonna edge it ReZero, but it is close. And I'm not super comfortable with the pick. It's not like a slam dunk pick. And I think it's just because of my personal taste in shows more than it is to the quality of either of them.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
All right, but however, in a 3-2 victory, we have High School of the Dead over ReZero.
That's a pretty big upset.
I think that was a pretty big upset.
I worked
Yeah.
hard for this. I deserve this. I'm proud of myself. I'm taking my victory lap.
Yeah.
There we go.
Way to go, Pat. All right, and we're going to round out the popular. For number 1 from 2010, we have Angel Beats going up against Season 1 of My Hero Academia. You guys know how I feel about My Hero Academia. I think the M in MHA stands for mid. I think season two is good, but that's about it. However, I have not seen Angel Beats, but from what I have been told, it's the number 1 popular anime from that year, probably for a reason.
Well, you could say the same about My Hero Academia, right?
Yeah, this one's tough. I'm giving it to
It's
My
tough.
Hero because I've seen it. So I'm not happy about this. I'm a sad boy, but I'm going with My Hero on this one.
Ooh, so this one's a bit harder, and I'm not nearly as adamant about this one as I was the last one, because I think they're both great. I think they're both great in different ways. My Hero Academia has been. It's impossible to say that doesn't have cult popularity. Like from anyone who isn't even just like an otaku, like even just mainstream, it has popularity. You can't deny that. And for me, that's gonna edge out Angel Beats, even though I think Angel Beats is an objectively better show.
Okay, Pat.
I can echo what Adam said there. I think you have to value My Hero Academia's popularity so much in terms of the growth of anime, in terms of mainstream appeal, and also getting second seasons and stuff. Like I think it is like the next of the big 3, right? Like it's the new big 3, the new age big 3. Like this is the one of the first ones that really broke an otherwise pretty shady streak where like the big 3 was Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, right? And then obviously One Piece is still chilling, still doing its thing, but like My Hero is really the next big shonen in my eyes, at least, that like took off and then stayed and became like a staple. And so that's why I think I'm gonna have to give it to My Hero. Although Angel Beats, that is a show that is still talked about as much as I feel like any other. Like anytime you mention Anohana, Blind April, it's like this show gets brought up too. So I think it's hard not to bring up the importance of that show as well.
Okay, Has.
Yeah, unlike all of you, I'm gonna completely disregard whatever the fuck you just said about. Right, My Hero is cool. Right, it's a very foundation. It's a let's take what Battle Shonen is and let's make it a little better, right? And that's cool. I'll admit, maybe there's a little bias. I'm not the biggest fan of Battle Shonen, but what really fucking gets me about My Hero is that I read it, right? I read it simply to spite someone else. And I'm caught up on the manga. And the best arc is probably next season. It's called My Villain Academia for any of you MHA fans and viewers. And let me tell you something. That's just objective fact, right? I'm not going to argue with you. It is. And the further you get away from that arc, the less this show is good to me, right? Season 1 is about as far as you get away. Not only that, the My Hero Academia fan base at season 1 was the worst that it's ever. Like season 1, season 2, My Hero fan base. I saw Bakugo pegging Deku on my timeline.
Oh God!
Feel comfortable, right? That's just what. Like, yeah, it had influence, but it also had that influence. Let's not forget that, right? Like there were some MAPs on the timeline, real bold about their. Angel Beats is the only show that I have seen like only Battle Shonen watchers, like people who fuck with like My Hero, like Dragon Ball, all that extra hype shit, watch and become bitch. It makes you a bitch in the most uncomfortable way too, because while the show tackles the afterlife and these dark subjects, I feel like due to the certain scenes when they tackle it, there's still this aura of like hope and like accepting, and it's very weird. So like I'm crying, but I don't know if I should be crying. And at the end scene is so anime has a horrible thing with ending. Angel Beats ending is perfect. It is the perfect ending. And if anyone says different, they're wrong, right? Like they're wrong. And that's it. Angel Beats wins. Matter of fact, I'm taking Pat's vote because Pat doesn't deserve it. And I'm gonna add 2 votes to Angel Beats.
He played the Uno card and reversed it. Gotcha,
Yeah.
Pat.
Yeah. Now, matter of fact,
Shit!
You should have called
voted
Uno.
You're right.
That's it. Angel Beats wins.
All right.
Okay, we don't even need to listen to anyone else. Matter of fact, Pete.
Well, that's not up to you. Miles, your turn.
So Angel Beats ending is pretty bad, which is what makes this hard.
Hey yo.
It's not good. I'm sorry. It's not earned in any way. They don't build the relationship between the two characters well enough throughout the series. It's too short of a show. The pacing is atrocious, and that hurts the ending.
So are you going
You
My
coming to
Hero?
Anime NYC?
No. I'm thinking. I haven't decided because Angel Beats is good and it's interesting, and it suffers from I don't know, trying to be something substantive, and My Hero Academia is like very safe. It's a shonen about superheroes. Like it's you really don't get safer than that. Yep. I think I'm gonna lean Angel Beats, but it's hard for me because I think that Angel Beats ultimately fails at what it tries to do. But I still think I enjoyed it a little bit more.
Okay, so in a 3-2 victory for 2016, we have My Hero Academia Season 1.
I love how that sounded like I disagree with everything Has says,
Yeah.
but I
did. I mean, I think the ending of Angel Beats is like not that great. I mean, if it was a show that lasted 20 episodes instead of 12, then the ending could be perfect, but it's not, so it isn't.
All right, that's fair.
I want to know, like, at least you gave the vote, but are you coming to Anime NYC?
I don't know yet.
Oh, you better start figuring it out, right? Like, I'm not. Yeah. Just let me know.
Has is a big talker, so we'll see.
We got a couple fights going down, and
yeah, we got Adam versus Pat, and now apparently
Fight Club
for the same show as you.
Yeah, we are. Well,
yeah.
As long as I'm not in a fight, I'm cool with it. Okay, so a 3-2 victory overall for 2016, and this was in terms of popularity. And now we're going to be moving into rating. So first up, the number 5 ranked anime for 2010 is Bakuman Season 1, going up against 2016's number 5 ranked JoJo Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable. I think Bakuman is a heavily slept on show in terms of like if you like slice of life comedy with a hint of romance, because we really don't get the romance like hardcore until like the 3rd season. But I think Bakuman is a great show, and not enough people watch it. Not the biggest JoJo fan. Never seen Part 4, so I'm gonna go with my boys making all that manga in Bakuman Season 1.
All right, this is another hard one because I agree 100% with what you said that Bakuman is slept on, and JoJo definitely isn't, and so there's a definite influence difference between the two shows. But it's a part 4, and I'm gonna go lean back to what I was saying in the first episode, even though I said I was gonna try not to do it.
You did anyway.
Bakuman, I'm gonna do it anyway. Bakuman's getting my vote.
All right, Pat.
I'm jamming out to the JoJo's opening right now. Sorry, it's JoJo's part 4. That's like the favorite of the parts. As far as I've heard.
Yeah.
Um, I I think that Bakuman. I've heard good things about it. Haven't seen it though, but I've seen enough memes from JoJo's, especially about Part 4, that I feel like I've almost seen the show. I have to go with JoJo's Part 4, just because it's more familiar with me, and I don't know. It's also JoJo's. Like I don't know. It's
Okay.
JoJo's.
Has.
This is really hard for me because I think Bakuman is like a one of a kind great show. I like UP. I think it's fucking slept on. It's amazing, but I also think JoJo is sex, right? Like JoJo part
Literally.
4, JoJo part 4. Yeah, JoJo part 4 is sex. JoJo's part 5 is JoJo's part 5 is like a threesome, and then JoJo's Stone Ocean is the Berserk orgy, right? Like it only gets better, and because it only gets better, and because there is a Berserk orgy, I'm giving it to
Sorry, say that again. Who'd you give it to?
Bakuman.
Bakuman. All right, and Miles.
I haven't seen Bakuman and I haven't seen JoJo Part 4, but I have seen like 1.5 parts of JoJo. And I don't know. It like sickens me to think about having to watch the show anymore. And I don't know. Bakuman sounds nice, so I'm gonna give it to that.
All right, it does sound nice, and it is nice.
Yeah,
if you're a slice of life fan, you need to watch Bakuman. It's
It hasn't
fantastic.
disappointed me yet, and JoJo's has. So
True.
that's how we're doing it.
All right, so in a 4-1 victory, we have Bakuman Season 1 beating JoJo's Part 4. Next up, the number 4 ranked from 2010, we have Notomi Katabali's Finale and Assassination Classroom Season 2. I have seen both shows.
Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked because I'm looking at this name and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Show?
Okay, I definitely slaughtered how to say Notamani Katabali or whatever it is. It's a
Nodama
it's a
Katabali.
music romance show where like
Yeah,
A pianist and a violinist.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
I'm reading about that. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and their dynamic is really cool because like the girl is like quirky and all over the place, and the dude's like super serious, and I need to win all the competitions and stuff. And of course, opposites attract, so they fall in love, and this is the finale where they move to Paris together. But however, I think the show is very boring. Assassination Classroom has, especially season 2, has one of the most, like I'm gonna say again, memorable moments. I'm putting that in quotations because I don't want to give any spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. To one of the best characters of all time in Koro Sensei. So I am going with Assassination Classroom season 2.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump in here and Nodame Katabile.
That sounds way better than how I said it.
It's I have not seen it, but I've heard it compared, at least when it comes to the music sections, to Your Lie in April. I've seen like violinists like deconstruct the violin playing, and I don't remember whether they said it was accurate or not. But I also have had another group of friends that are big into anime from another podcast. They were really big fans of that show. However, I have not seen it, and so I have a real hard time putting something that I feel like is going to be hit or miss for some people above Assassination Classroom, which I feel like is a more safe pick. Plus, I'm fighting a war right now against 2010.
And you have it in your background.
What was that? Oh yeah, that's
you have
true.
Assassination Classroom.
But I'm fighting a war against 2010, and I don't want it to win. So 2016 gets it with Assassination Classroom.
All right, that's tough. Pat.
Oh man, see, it sounds like a show that would interest me, but it's not for some reason. I like music and I like relationship drama.
And it's in college, and it doesn't hit.
It's so weird. I don't know why it doesn't seem like it would hit for me because it seems like it would. But again, I don't know why it's not. So versus Assassination Classroom Season 2. My roommate raved about it to me for days about how great of a show it was. So I think I have to go with Season 2 of Assassination Classroom.
All right, Has.
Sorry. Never watched an anime. Doesn't look particularly in my bag. Also, could be because after watching Listeners or whatever the fuck it was
Oh
called,
God.
my musical anime sort of palette has been tainted.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And like I said, the K in Hastic is for karma, right? Like Assassination Classroom Season 2 all the way.
Sounds good. And Miles.
Yeah, Assassination Classroom Season 2. Just, because I don't know, I haven't seen the violin show.
The violin show. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. And I think we all made the correct choice because in a 5-0 sweep, Assassination Classroom Season 2 takes it over. I'm not even gonna pronounce it because I've been slaughtering it. So that one show with the violin. All right, moving on to our number 3 ranked from 2010. We have Katana Gatari going up against Natsume's Book of Friends Season 5. I've seen
What a barn burner this one is.
I think this one, if this is gonna be the blandest conversation ever. I read the synopsis and seen the genres for Katana. Don't care.
Yep.
Watch Natsume's Book of Friends. Almost cried episode 2. I'm gonna give it to Natsume's Book of Friends.
I like the visuals of Katana Gatari, but I have not seen it, and so I can't really judge it based on that. And Natsume's Book of Friends has 5 seasons,
6.
and since I can't judge anything based on something I haven't seen, if it's got 5 seasons, the show's great, right?
It's got 6 seasons.
Every time,
Oh,
every single show with 5 seasons.
So, I mean, I'm just going to give it to the one show that seems to have lasting appeal.
Okay, Pat.
Katana Gatari, so that's sword story, right? That's what that translates to?
It's not a part of the Monogatari series, which I think
No, it's
everybody
not.
originally thought it was.
Oh, I initially did before I looked it up, but yeah, so sword story. I don't know, that sounds interesting, but I don't know. I can't really put a real vote in, so I'm gonna vote for Kana Gatari to off-put
Okay. Make
Adams.
it interesting.
Well, to put off-put Adams' war against
I like
2010
that.
and take war on 2016. So there
I'll
we go.
allow it. Paz.
Haven't watched either of these shows, and I think I talked about this off air, even though I fumbled the bag with not 6. Having 5 seasons, that's big dick energy.
Yeah, you're right.
But
Very fair
Katana
point.
Gatari, from what I saw and what I read, kind of looks like Pro Mare meets Rurouni Kenshin meets Sword Guy.
Ooh, that's a
And-
good analogy.
And I'm a big fan of Rurouni Kenshin. It's been brought to my attention that the author has been less than savory in his
Yes,
days.
yes, he has, unfortunately.
Now, I'm not saying I've been less than savory in the same way, but I am still a and I think Karu is a beautiful waifu. Not only that, Rurouni Kenshin has one of my favorite anime live actions, Slapper.
It's good. It's really good.
It also just, 5 seasons is great, but having a good live action is a bigger dick move to me. So I'm gonna give it, and since Katana, it's not Katana Gatari, but the main character looks like Kenshin, so I'm in Promare style. So Katana Gatari got it.
All right, that was a roundabout way to get into that, but
I respect it. I
All
like
right.
it.
Miles, you're the deciding vote.
Yeah, so I came into this and I was certain that I was going to give it to Natsume's Book of Friends. But just to do my due diligence, I googled Katana Gatari, and my god, if I don't love the character designs.
I know they're great. That's
They are.
Yeah, truthfully, I don't know anything about either of these fucking shows. But what I do know is that Togami's design specifically is the white-haired girl. I think it's just so good. I just think it's something so nice about it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to fucking Katana Gatari.
Wow. All right. In a thrilling, I don't even want to call it an upset. In a thrilling, bland match, a
in a
3-2
great line of
victory for
reasoning.
2010 for Katana Gatari. You know what? Maybe this would be a good show to recommend for Watch Club. Who knows? I don't know how many
I was
episodes it is, but
It's 11.
well,
No,
there we go. All right. Moving on to the number
Vote.
2.
None of you have voted.
What was that?
Vote.
Oh yeah, vote. Yeah, for
Vote,
sure.
yep.
Number 2 ranked, we have for 2010 we have Rainbow going up against 2016's Rakugo Shinju. Two shows that I have not seen but have insanely high rating. I'm gonna do this like this is pretty bullshit, but a lot of people said Rakugo Shinju is anime of the decade, and
Yeah.
I heard nobody say that for Rainbow, so I'm going to go with Rakugo Shinju.
Exactly what I was gonna say. I've never heard of Rainbow until I had to look it up for this. And Rakugo Shinju, like you said, has been nominated for Anime of the Year, was Anime of the Decade nomination. Rakugo Shinju for me.
Okay, Pat.
I've heard those things said about Rakugo Shinju, but for whatever reason, I've just never been able to pick it up or start it. I'm sure if I did, I'd finish it. But I'm sitting here reading this Rainbow, and looking at the cover art. It's awesome. This dude in the background is killing it. I don't know if you look at Mal, you look at the first PV or whatever. This dude looks like a badass. Like, and reading reading it sounds like the synopsis sounds pretty cool. They get very high rating on Mal too, like an 8.53. You have to be quality to be able to get something like that. Pains me, but I got to go with Rakugo Shinju though, because
right.
that's the show. That's the
Has.
show.
Don't know anything about either of these shows. Never heard of Rainbow. Just looked at both of them. Read the synopsis. Rakugo Shinju looks boring. In terms of art style, it's not very catchy to the eye. And oh wait, I have noise. I have noise reduction. Never mind. I fucking forget. This shit is godly.
Yeah, it's great. No more cops.
Oh no, there's just bikers going by, so it's fucking my thought process anyway. Give that a second. No, Rainbow kind of looks like Evil or Live, which is like one of my favorite shows, and I think it's highly slept on. Also, I don't know how much the appeal of getting this story of Yakuza out of jail. What's it called? The kids are in jail together, and that sounds more interesting to me. So I'm gonna give it to
Okay.
Rainbow.
Like you said, Rainbow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah, so I guess people really like Rakugo Shinjo. I've never heard of either of these. So this time we're gonna take cover art as the determining factor because they both appear to be about criminals of some sort.
No, Rakugo Shinju has nothing to do with criminals.
It says is a former
Yakuza.
Yakuza.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a criminal.
It's a guy who got out of jail who's like
okay.
starting a new life.
Okay, so he was a criminal.
He was a criminal, but the
He
story
was
is
a
nothing
criminal.
set about being a criminal. It's about like theater art.
Okay, so he gets out of prison and that doesn't affect the story at all?
Not really. It's more about him becoming a storyteller.
Yes.
Consistent writing is important.
Okay, does it play a part? Sure, but like that's not like the emphasis of the story.
I haven't seen either of these shows. I'm just gonna vote for Rainbow. It doesn't
All right.
matter.
All right.
Shit, you already won.
All right, in a 3-2 victory for 2016, Rakugo Shinju beats Rainbow. We should maybe
should've-
watch one of these.
I should have
should've done
changed my vote.
All right,
Yeah.
and last but not least, the number one rated for 2010, we have the Tatami Galaxy going up against Haiku Season 3. Now, if you've maybe never heard of Tatami Galaxy, which most people haven't, it is done by the same director who did Devilman Crybaby, Ride Your Wave, Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken, anything by Science Saru, essentially. It's an incredible masterpiece. The story itself is incredible. How it's animated is incredible. But I know you guys can't see me, but I am currently wearing my Kurosano volleyball t-shirt because nothing is better than Season 3. It is my favorite arc of Haiku. It is my favorite arc in anime history. It is so good. The realism of volleyball is amazing. It is the best. Tsukishima all day. Gang gang. Season 3 of Haiku is my vote.
My vote is definitely Season 3 of Haiku, but Season 2 is a better arc.
You're wrong, but okay, that's fine. Pat.
It is. No, it's strictly a better story told arc. Season 3 is one game. There's no story arc.
You're
What?
a fool.
It's just the game.
What? How the entire
Season 2 has a full-on arc where the characters start out having just lost in the tournament, having to build themselves up from the bottom to get revenge. Season 3 doesn't have that full starting from the bottom climbing arc.
How about
It
this?
just doesn't.
In our comments, please tell us which is a better season, season 2 or season 3 of Haiku. Pat.
I haven't seen either. I've heard good things about both. Yada yada yada, bland commentary. I don't know. This sucks for me to end on this one because I don't know what to say for either of them. But you seem so passionate about Haikyuu.
Oh,
So
great.
It's my number 5 all time.
So I'm gonna go with Atomic Galaxy. So there you go.
Has.
I not nearly as invested in Haikyuu as the rest of you. But I'm also a thought, right? So
True.
this whole God of matrimony thing in Tatami Galaxy goes counter to my morals, right? I don't know what the fuck is marriage, huh? The fuck is that? Nah, but Haikyuu season 3 it's a slapper. It's a slapper. I don't have the best season of Haikyuu, but I definitely hear what Adam's saying. But maybe it's time I sit down and learn some morals and how to be a faithful man. It's like, let's play fucking volleyball and watch the jiggle physics on beach volleyball, Dead or Alive Extreme 2. Haikyuu season.
All right. And Miles, you're the final vote.
Yeah, so I haven't got to season 3 of Haikyuu yet, so I guess take this opinion with a grain of salt. But like, Haikyuu is okay. I haven't seen Tatami Galaxy yet, but I fucking love this director.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Like everything he touches is just like Miles bait, basically, and also other people because it's all like wicked highly rated shit for the most part. So I'm gonna give it to Atomic Galaxy, just because honestly, if I had a gun to my head, I imagine if I had to guess which one I would like more, I'd have to pick that.
All right, that's fair. But it doesn't matter. So in a 3-2 victory, we have Haikyuu season 3 over the Tatami Galaxy.
That one volleyball game. Okay, great.
And it's bringing us to our final score of 6-4 for 2016. Yes.
High School of the Dead died.
Oh, Adam, we got ourselves like a rivalry now it'll be in our Discord. But
I lost the battle, but I won the war.
Exactly.
Look, you sacrificed
I can't
High School of the
argue.
Dead.
Yeah,
My
I can't
hero.
argue a lot of this stuff
Yeah,
because
but My Hero Academia beat Angel Beats. So.
I can't. Yeah, see, I can't argue a lot of the things. Dead was carrying 2010 in terms of my interest, especially. So you know what? It sucks to lose this battle, but that show will forever
I still
be.
love you.
It will. No, I don't love you. But High School of the Dead. High School of the Dead will forever be
Dead.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's never gonna be brought up again.
I expect no less.
Not
of people
in
that
this
voted for
battle.
One Punch Man.
All right,
I know. Yeah, thank you, Haz. Good point. That's a great point. So
Garbage
that's all
people.
I got.
That was a really good episode. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you want to join into the conversation that we have a Discord. It's gonna be in the description below, whatever streaming platform you're listening on. The next episode is going to be 2014 versus 2018 and 2011 versus 2013. Should be really fun. If you like what you are hearing, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps with the algorithms that are iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, all that fun stuff. But we also have a Twitter. You should follow us. What do you say, Annie? That's what you say, A-N-I on Twitter. Join our Discord. Follow us on Twitter. All that good stuff. We have a lot of fun stuff going on. So, without further ado, thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.